We're learning a lot more tonight from U.S. Border Czar Tom Homan about a wide range of issues regarding ICE enforcement in Minnesota. Perhaps most importantly, how and when it might end. Homan came to our KSTP studios today to speak only with Chief Political Reporter Tom Hauser. Tom?
And Kevin, Border Czar Tom Homan made it clear to me that he wants the surge to end here in Minnesota very soon, possibly within a couple weeks. He also confirmed the first of the 700 agents being sent home have already started leaving Minnesota. U.S. Border Czar Tom Homan took over immigration enforcement efforts in Minnesota in late January. Mr. Homan, for the first time, he agreed to a one-on-one interview to talk about what is likely to change under his leadership. We started with when the ICE surge might end.
I'd like to do it in the next couple of weeks, and I want to get done quickly. But again, I need some help from the governor and mayor to get the message out there to the public. And as the agitation, as the interference taps down, that allows me to release the security force quicker. I'm not going to draw down if I think our officers are at further risk.
After several weeks of altercations between agents and protesters, and even 2 fatal shootings of Minnesotans by federal agents, President Trump said this week he thought Minnesota needed a softer touch. Apparently he was referring to you because Greg Bavino, when he was in charge of the ICE and Border Patrol agents, many people here in Minnesota thought it was too aggressive. He made it look like he was leading a military force invading Minnesota. You are projecting a far different image, coat and tie, and less military-like.
Well, I'm not soft. I mean, I've never been known as being soft, but I came here, President Trump asked to come here, and we're going to do it smarter. We're going to do it better. And, the first couple of things I did is create a single, a unified chain of command, right? Everybody should report to the same chain of command. That's the way these operators operate.
We also showed Homan videos showing U.S. citizens being pulled from cars or threatened with guns. You can see the video here. I know you've seen it many times. Do instances like this concern you, that there does not seem to be a lot of discipline? We have this case just from last week, I believe, around the same day that you first arrived here in Minnesota, where agents pulled guns on a woman who was recording from her vehicle. Are those acceptable to you?
Well, first of all, we're not seeing the whole video. Second of all, one of the first things I did when I got here is instructed to have more internal affair agents assigned to the city to hold anybody that acts out of policy, hold them accountable.
Homan wouldn't say if he supports releasing body cams in the Alex Preddy shooting, but says he did push for more body cams on agents.
I want to make sure everybody had a body camera. It's because we got to be transparent to the public, got to show them everything we're doing.
Knowing what you know and what you've seen on the videos, and you've probably seen more video than we have seen, would you have pulled the trigger in either of those instances?
I'm not going to comment on that. Again, I want to let the investigation play out. That's the way we should do it. And I haven't been out saying what my opinion is, because I shouldn't.
As for conditions for detainees at the Whipple Federal Building that some have called inhumane, he said this: sleeping on floors, crowded cells, lack of medical care. Are you addressing that?
Absolutely. I walked through there yesterday. And
what did you think?
Well, I got to compare what I saw yesterday, what was here 2 weeks ago. There were a lot of people being arrested. Now that we targeted, there's less people. So the conditions look fine to me yesterday. I wasn't here 2 weeks ago.
Now, Democratic members of Minnesota's congressional delegation push back on that assessment that things are fine. You'll hear from them in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, Homan says he's also aware of criticism that the Homeland Security website with the worst of the worst immigration offenders in Minnesota does not give enough information for independent fact checkers to verify their crimes. He says he also plans to address that and focus more on targeted enforcement, Kevin, because as you know, there was a lot of criticism about just randomly pulling people off the streets.
Okay, I want clarification on one thing Homan said. The 2-week estimate to end the surge, that is just that, an estimate.
He would like it to end in a couple of weeks, but it depends on whether tensions continue to lower between protesters and agents. And if that continues the way it is now, he thinks they could be down to their regular complement of 150 agents instead of the 2,000 that will be left sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Well, we learned a lot from Homan today.
Yep.
Thank you.